What's up, Commanders fans? We all know that this offseason has been all about building a stronger, more complete team to take that next step in 2025. General Manager Adam Peters has been aggressive in reinforcing the roster, but as always, with additions come some tough losses. And today, we're talking about a key departure that has some fans concerned. Laremy Chinn is heading to the Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Laremy. Chinn was one of the most productive players on Washington's defense last season. In his lone campaign with the Commanders, he racked up 117 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, and 7 tackles for loss. That kind of production made him a fan favorite and a crucial part of the team's deep playoff run. There was hope that Washington could work out a deal to bring him back, but in the end, the numbers didn't work out. The Las Vegas Raiders came in with a 2-year, $16 million offer, one that Chinn couldn't turn down. While it's tough to see him go, Peters is sticking to his philosophy. He won't overpay, no matter how good a player was in Washington's system. Losing a player like Chinn can be a setback, but the Commanders didn't wait long to find his successor. Enter Will Harris, who is signing a 2-year deal worth $8 million, potentially $10 million with incentives. Harris, a 6-year NFL veteran, played last season with the New Orleans Saints after 5 years with the Detroit Lions. He brings versatility, just like Chinn, as someone who can play both the safety spots and even contribute in the box when needed. While Harris isn't a superstar name, he's a smart, cost-effective signing. He fits the mold of what Dan Quinn and the defensive coaching staff want: an aggressive, instinctive player who can play multiple roles. And just like Chinn, Harris thrives when he's allowed to be reactive rather than focusing on deep coverage responsibilities. So, is this an upgrade? Maybe not, but it's a smart signing that allows Washington to stay flexible with its cap space and roster-building strategy. Plus, it doesn't rule out drafting another safety to add depth and competition. Speaking of safeties, another player who might be on his way out is Darrick Forrest. The former 5th-round pick has shown flashes of potential, but never truly carved out a consistent starting role. According to Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, the Miami Dolphins have already reached out about signing him. Forrest had an up-and-down time in Washington. In 2022, he started 11 games and looked like a potential long-term piece. But his role diminished over the past 2 seasons, appearing in just 74 defensive snaps in 2024, while being used more on special teams. Miami, looking for depth in their secondary, seems to be interested in his upside. If Forrest leaves, that would be another hole to fill, but given his limited defensive contributions last season, it's unlikely that Washington will make a strong push to retain him. So, what does all of this mean for Washington? Well, it's clear that Peters is prioritizing value over sentimentality. Losing Laremy Chinn hurts, but the front office acted quickly and decisively to bring in Harris as a replacement. The team still has flexibility to make more moves, whether in free agency or the draft. With nearly 30 expiring contracts this offseason, this Commanders team is going to look different in 2025. But the goal remains the same: build on last season's success and make another deep playoff run. And with Washington now an attractive destination for free agents, expect Peters to continue making calculated moves that keep this team competitive. So, here's the deal. Washington is bringing in 3-time Pro Bowler Laremy Tunsil from the Houston Texans in exchange for a package of draft picks. The Commanders will be sending a 3rd-round and 7th-round pick in 2025, along with a 2nd and 4th-round pick in 2026 to Houston. However, Washington will also receive a 4th-round pick in 2025 as part of the deal. Tunsil, 30, has long been regarded as one of the top pass protectors in the league. Originally drafted by the Miami Dolphins in 2016, he was traded to the Texans in 2019, where he secured 2 major contract extensions, including a 3-year $75 million deal signed in 2022. Now, he's heading to Washington, where his primary mission will be to keep Jayden Daniels upright and provide elite protection on the left side of the line. Now, here's where things get really interesting. We all know that Micah Parsons, the Cowboys all-pro pass rusher, has had his way with the Commanders' offensive line in the past. But after hearing about Washington's latest move, Parsons couldn't hide his disbelief. Shortly after the trade was confirmed, Parsons took to social media and expressed his shock, clearly realizing that his path to terrorizing Washington's offense just got a whole lot tougher. And can you blame him? Tunsil is an elite pass protector, and while he racked up a few too many penalties last season, his presence alone will significantly change the dynamic of Washington's battles in the trenches, especially when facing Dallas twice a year. Meanwhile, over in Dallas, Jerry Jones and company have been surprisingly quiet during free agency. Outside of signing former Broncos running back Javonte Williams to a one-year deal, they haven't made any major splashes. Instead, they've focused on clearing cap space and preparing for future deals. However, one massive deal they still haven't figured out? Micah Parsons' contract extension. With the market for elite pass rushers exploding, the price tag for keeping Parsons in Dallas is only getting higher by the day. And if the Cowboys continue to fall behind Washington and Philadelphia in terms of roster construction, they may soon have an even bigger problem on their hands. A frustrated Parsons looking at what Washington is building and wondering why his own team isn't making similar moves. This trade isn't just about fortifying the offensive line. It's about sending a message to the rest of the NFC East. The Commanders' improbable run to the NFC Championship game last season was no fluke. They're here to compete for championships, and Adam Peters is making sure they have the firepower to do it. Tunsil is the best left tackle Washington has had since Trent Williams, and his presence will provide an immediate boost to an offensive line that struggled in recent years. Pair that with the addition of wide receiver Deebo Samuel, and suddenly, Jaden Daniels has the weapons and protection to take another huge step forward in year 2. Meanwhile, Dallas and New York are left scratching their heads. The Cowboys have stood still while their rivals are getting better, and the Giants remain stuck in quarterback purgatory. The Eagles are still a powerhouse, but Washington is making it clear that they won't back down from the fight. So, alright, Commanders fans, it's time for you to sound off. How do you feel about losing Laremy Chinn? Do you think Will Harris is a solid replacement? Or should Washington have paid up to keep Chinn? And what about Darrick Forrest? Should the East and Commanders try to keep him or let him walk? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any Commanders news. We're just getting started this offseason, and there's plenty more to come. See you in the next one. HTTC.